In Rimworld, we are lucky enough to have hundreds of Bionics mods. In fact, if you just go onto the Steam Workshop page, type in Bionics, you'll get over 700 entries. There are loads. That's not even including mods that include Bionics that aren't named Bionic something. There are literally thousands potentially. And how do you pick one? How do you pick a Bionics mod that's going to fit into all of your different playthroughs, different mod packs and different playstyles? Well, there is one mod that always comes to mind for me that I want to include in every playthrough I possibly can. Ra's Bionics and Surgery expansion. This mod is legendary. Ra himself has created some fantastic mods for Rimworld, and this one is just the creme de la creme. Let's get into this review and let me show you why. So as we get started at the content, let's start looking at our first impressions. The Steam Workshop page. What is there and what can we see? Well, it starts off with a lovely thumbnail. Sleek and elegant, really fits this mod perfectly. And a quick thing I want to point out is this mod came out in 2017. That means it is 7 years old. This mod is old enough to not shit on the floor or itself anymore. Crazy when you think of it like that. Getting into the rest of the workshop page, there's not too much here. For a mod this old, I would love to have seen this developed even further. Yes, we've got a list of features, incompatibilities, a description of everything. I would maybe like to see some images of the stuff that's added within this mod. Maybe a little bit more for a mod of this age as well. Still timeless, still appreciated, but I could maybe like to see a little bit more. So what does all that content look like in game? So from what I can tell, we have 30 new items. Organs, prosthetics, bionics, and advanced bionics. The organs are going to be the stuff that you're going to be removing from people, good old Rimworld. Prosthetics are the lowest level, bionic is the second level, and advanced bionics are going to be the final level. I'll get more into the balancing on these later in the video. So what body parts do these prosthetics replace? Well, every single level will do the basic stuff. Hands, legs, arms, and all those good things. And as we get further into the technology of it, we get to access more things. The advanced one being the main one where we get access to brain implants and synthetic organs and things. Fantastic. Now where are we going to be crafting those? The advanced medical station, the bionic workstation, and the machining table for the respective levels of tech. Very nice, very easy. That's what we like. Then how do we access all of these different bionics and work tables? Ra has added in a very nice in-depth and fluid research area where everything is in order and everything, and it makes sense. Very nice touch. And the last piece of content that is covered by this mod that I wanted to include is the new diseases. We have the chronic stomach disorder, the congenital heart disease, and the chronic kidney disease. I love the idea that we can just make our colonists even more unwell in Rimworld, adds to the depth and everything. Obviously, we can cure those with this mod as well. We can't just let them suffer, unfortunately. So there we have it. That's all the content. And there's a decent amount of it. It all makes sense and it all works well within Rimworld, and that is what really matters. I think the content for this mod not only fits in with Rimworld perfectly, it also supplements your game in such a way that you can have the modded experience whilst also feeling like you're still in base game Rimworld, and I think that's the point. That's perfect for it, and that is what I love from my Rimworld mods. I think for content, I'm very happy giving it a 9 out of 10. I would have given it a 10 out of 10, but like I said at the very beginning, I would like to see the Steam Workshop page updated for a more modern era. Whilst I'm aware that for the legacy stuff, and it's always been the same, 2017 and all that, it's nice, it does the job. I would maybe just like a little bit more, especially of a mod of this age and quality. Next, the quality. So next, the quality. What am I expecting here? Well, what I'm expecting is that everything merges and meshes together with base game Rimworld in such a way that it's seamless. I don't want to know what's modded and what isn't. I just have the expectation that it all works. So zooming in on everything, I love the coloring of everything. It sets everything apart and it lets me know from a glance what level of quality each thing is. And I like that the organs are red. It just makes sense. And looking at the workbenches, for some reason, whilst I don't think the quality is actually that good, it fits in perfectly with the base game stuff. The machining table and the other tables added by this mod look like the same. They look the exact same author, the same designer has done these things. And I like that from this mod. I love the seamlessness of it, and it works perfectly for the scenario. So as you can probably tell as we get into this review, there's a bit of a theme going on. I love that this mod fits in seamlessly with base game. And what I like to check on every mod review I do is look at the descriptions. Does everything fit as well? And funnily enough, it all makes sense, it all works, it says exactly what it is, and it looks like it's part of the base game. It's got the same level of description and everything, which I think is perfect for this mod. So that's going to be it in terms of the quality. Everything as I expect. There's not much more to say than that really, because everything is perfect. There's no issues anywhere. It all looks good, and all the graphic qualities are of quality I expect. For quality, I'm very happy, once again giving it a 9 out of 10. it would be 10 out of 10, but I felt like the workbenches could be slightly better than the base game stuff. Next, the balancing. So the balancing, this is arguably the most important section of this video. If these Bionics aren't balanced and they're so overpowered that they make life too easy, there's just not much point in using them. They're not going to fit in with everything, and it's just going to ruin the rest of your experience. So let's start by looking at 3 different types of Bionics. 2 of the most common ones, which are the arm and the leg Bionics, and then I've added in the ear Bionics as just a bit of variation. So let's start with the arms. As a baseliner, proven by the heart here, every body part that's in a normal pawn has got 100% part efficiency. So looking at the prosthetic arm, it has 80% efficiency, then bumping up 50% is the bionic arm at 130%. Massive jump here, very much worth your time. The next one being the advanced bionic arm at 150%. Only a 20% increase. The leg then copies that and goes 80 to 130 to 150 again. Massive jump between the prosthetic and the bionic, and then another small increase to the advanced. So last but not least, let's look at the ear bionic. So this starts off with a cochlear implant that gives us 65% part efficiency, very low, then immediately jumps to 100% and then maintains at 100%, but just adding extra benefits in. Makes sense. I don't see why we'd need extra hearing, honestly, within Rimworld, so makes sense. Then next, let's compare the heart and the kidney to the synthetic equivalent. Once again, these literally do not increase the part efficiency whatsoever. All they do is add in some extra bonuses for your characters. So all of these synthetic organs, the advanced bionics and everything, they seem quite powerful. So how is this balanced? Well, mainly, in my opinion, this is balanced with time, research time specifically. In order to just access regular bionics, we've got at least 4,200 research points to put in. Advanced bionics is then 7,200 points. To access neuroscience, we then have 10,200 research to put in. For synthetic organs, we've got 10,200 research points again. This isn't even taking into account multi-analyzer, fabrication, electricity, and all of the above. The research time is going to be a huge balancing factor for this mod, and if you've not got colonists dedicated to getting these bionics and research and resources, there's not much point going for them. So that's going to be it for the balancing. Now, do I think this mod is inherently balanced? Yes, I do. I think this mod has been extremely well thought out of in terms of its balancing, and it's been taken into consideration highly. I think the research cost and the resource cost makes this mod so easily accessible to those that have the time to play in massive mod packs and those that are just using a vanilla playthrough. It fits in perfectly regardless of the situation. I think the highlights for me is literally the resource and the research cost for this. Huge in my opinion. So overall, I think for balancing, I'm very comfortable giving it a 10 out of 10. Next, the compatibility. So next, let's look at compatibility. Are there any bugs I need to let you know about and how this fit in with your playthrough? Now, in terms of bugs and everything, this mod does not work with expanded prosthetics and organ engineering. 2 absolute units of Bionics mods don't work together. Who'd have thought it, hey? Other than that, in terms of bugs and everything, I spent a long time looking at the discussion page and the comment section of this mod, seeing if anybody was reporting anything, and after scrolling for a while and just looking at people complaining that there are mod issues and mod conflicts, there isn't any issues at all. In fact, the mod author has very nicely replied to pretty much everybody, telling them that they should not be doing something or recommending them something that they don't need to fix it. In terms of bugs, I also had no issues at all. Perfect. Then how will this mod fit into your playstyles? Now, funnily enough, this mod will not fit into a playthrough that is medieval, tribal, or anything less than industrial in technology. This mod fits in perfectly, obviously, with anything that's industrial. Maybe not something that's sci-fi, though. I'm not sure why, but I feel like this is a very industrial-based playthrough. Very Rimworld and very much fitting that style. Other than that, there are going to be no issues with your playstyles. This fits in with literally anything that you might like to do. So I think in terms of compatibility, because everything fits together and everything works and nobody's particularly having any issues that are of any note, I'm very comfortable once again giving compatibility a 10 out of 10. Next, let's move on to my mod recommendations. So next, let's look at my mod recommendations. Now, this mod does fit into literally any playstyle that is going to be industrial or above. But here are a few that I have picked out specially. Starting with the VGP Garden Medicine. More medicine means more ways to fix and heal your colonists. Next, the More Linkables mod, so you can actually make all the Bionics a little bit quicker. And lastly, the Quarry mod, an absolute famous one that's going to allow you to get all the resources you need. Like I said in the compatibility section, this is going to fit in with literally any mod that is in the industrial style. And for that, I couldn't help but recommend every single mod that's pretty much on the Steam Workshop page. This mod fits in perfectly with literally any scenario. So I think for mod recommendations, I'm very comfortable giving it a 9 out of 10. only being marked down because obviously you're not going to be able to use this with tribal stuff, and obviously not going to be able to using it with medieval stuff. Next, my conclusion. So that's going to be it for my mod review. This mod is fantastic, and I can see why it's so highly rated, has been around for so many years, and it's got the reputation it's got. This mod is amazing. So for content, I gave it a 9 out of 10. For quality, another 9. Balancing and compatibility, it received 10 out of 10 respectively. And for mod recommendations, 9 out of 10. Giving it the grand score of 47 out of 50, which very solidly gives it a A rating. There's a few areas that I did think that did need to be improved. The content page of the Steam Workshop page just didn't seem to be updated for what I'm expecting for modern day mods, and I think the quality of the workbenches could just be improved a little bit, especially after all this time. And the mod recommendations, I can't really help that because obviously this isn't going to fit in with every playthrough. This mod, however, is fantastic, practically perfect, and fits in with literally any Rimworld playthrough you're going to be doing, and especially with the Anomaly DLC, it will fit in like a glove. This mod I will be using in a future playthrough that I've got planned, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So that's going to be it for this mod review. Please check out this mod and look out at Ra's other stuff. Fantastic mod creator as well. So thank you for watching this video, and if you have enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, and make sure you tell your mum about me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.